Most people think the past disappears with time. They think years are enough to bury pain, silence, embarrassment, heartbreak, rejection, fear. They believe growing older automatically means healing. But the truth is darker and more complicated than that. The past rarely dies. It changes shape. It hides inside your reactions, your habits, your fears, your relationships, your anger, your silence, and sometimes even your dreams. A person can smile every day and still carry a wounded version of themselves inside. A man can become successful and still feel like the ignored child he once was. A woman can be loved deeply and still feel unworthy because years ago someone made her believe she was hard to love. The human mind never truly throws experiences away. It stores them quietly, like old letters, locked inside a forgotten drawer. And one random moment, one smell, one song, one sentence, one failure can open that drawer again. That is why some people overreact to small things and do not even understand why. Someone cancels plans with them, and suddenly they feel abandoned. Someone criticizes them once, and they feel completely broken. Someone takes too long to reply, and anxiety begins crawling through their chest. They think they are reacting to the present moment, but often they are reacting to an old wound the present accidentally touched. Psychology calls this emotional memory. Your body remembers pain even when your mind tries to forget it. A child who grew up around constant criticism may become an adult who apologizes for everything. A person who was betrayed once may struggle to trust even good people. Someone who grew up emotionally ignored may spend their whole life begging for validation without realizing it. And the saddest part is that many people never notice how much of their current personality was shaped by survival. They think, this is just who I am. But maybe you are not naturally distant. Maybe you learned distance because closeness once hurt you. Maybe you are not lazy. Maybe you are mentally exhausted from carrying invisible emotional weight for years. Maybe you are not emotionally cold. Maybe your heart simply learned that feeling too much can become dangerous. The past hides inside defense mechanisms so well that people mistake survival patterns for identity. And the world often makes this worse. Society praises people for moving on quickly. People hear phrases like, forget the past, be strong, stop thinking about it. But trauma does not disappear because you order it to leave. Pain ignored is pain stored. The mind buries unresolved emotions alive, and buried emotions have a terrifying habit of returning later in different forms. Sometimes they return as anxiety, sometimes as self-hatred, sometimes as uncontrollable anger, sometimes as emptiness that no amount of success can fill. There are people walking around today who think they are broken, when in reality they are carrying years of emotional bruises that were never cleaned, never treated, never understood. You can see it in ordinary moments. The person who laughs the loudest at gatherings but feels empty when they get home. The man who works non-stop because slowing down forces him to feel emotions he has been avoiding for years. The woman who keeps choosing toxic relationships because chaos feels familiar to her nervous system. The friend who disappears whenever life becomes emotionally heavy because vulnerability was never safe for them. Growing up, people think behavior comes from nowhere, but behavior always has roots. Every reaction tells a story. Every fear has a history. Every insecurity was taught by something or someone. And this is why healing is so difficult, because healing is not just about changing behavior. It is about finding the hidden wound beneath the behavior. It is about realizing that your present struggles may actually be echoes from your past. The frightening thing about unresolved pain is that it controls lives silently. It can make someone sabotage opportunities because deep inside they do not believe they deserve success. It can make someone push away healthy love because pain feels more familiar than peace. It can make people addicted to distractions because silence forces them to confront memories they spent years escaping. Some people spend their entire lives running from themselves. They stay constantly busy, constantly scrolling, constantly entertaining themselves, constantly chasing relationships, constantly chasing money, not because they are happy, but because stopping would force them to hear the emotions hiding underneath the noise. And deep down, many people are terrified of what they might feel if they finally slow down, because buried pain does not disappear with time. It waits. It waits in the nervous system. It waits in the subconscious. It waits in sleepless nights. It waits in moments of failure. It waits in relationships. And eventually life triggers it again. Maybe this is why some people feel strangely emotional over things others consider small. The pain they feel today is rarely just about today. Old emotions attach themselves to new situations. A single rejection can awaken years of feeling unwanted. A simple argument can reopen childhood feelings of fear or helplessness. One heartbreak can reactivate every abandonment wound a person ever experienced. People are not weak because they struggle emotionally. Most are simply carrying more than others can see. But here is the dangerous part. If you never face your past, you unknowingly pass it into your future. Hurt people often repeat emotional patterns they swore they would never repeat. The child who grew up unloved may unintentionally struggle to give love. The person controlled their entire life may become controlling. The person constantly betrayed may destroy relationships before others can hurt them first. Pain that is not healed often becomes pain that is transferred. This is why self-awareness is life-changing. The moment a person begins asking, "Why do I react this way?" instead of simply hating themselves for reacting, healing quietly begins. Not instantly, not perfectly, but honestly. Real healing is uncomfortable because it requires facing truths people avoided for years. It means admitting that some wounds still exist. It means realizing that certain memories still affect you. It means understanding that strength is not pretending nothing hurt you. Real strength is having the courage to confront what hurt you without letting it define your future forever. And this is where many people finally begin changing. The moment they stop fighting their emotions and start listening to them. Because emotions are not enemies, they are signals. Your anxiety may be revealing unresolved fear. Your anger may be protecting old pain. Your overthinking may come from years of emotional unpredictability. Your fear of rejection may come from once feeling invisible. When people ignore emotional signals, they suffer in confusion. But when they begin understanding where those feelings come from, life slowly becomes clearer. This does not mean blaming the past forever. That is another trap. Some people become prisoners of their history and use pain as an excuse to never grow. Healing is not about staying trapped in old stories. It is about understanding those stories so they stop controlling you unconsciously. You cannot change what happened to you, but you can change what continues through you. That is where personal power begins. Not in pretending the past never happened. Not in acting emotionally invincible, but in becoming aware enough to stop old wounds from deciding your future. The truth is, every human being carries invisible scars. Some hide them better than others. Some joke through them. Some work through them. Some numb themselves through them. But almost everyone has memories that still ache in quiet moments. The strongest people are not those who never suffered. They are the ones who faced their suffering honestly and refused to let it turn them bitter. Because pain can do two things to a person. It can either deepen their wisdom or deepen their darkness. And the difference often comes down to awareness. When you understand your pain, you stop becoming controlled by it. You stop punishing yourself for reactions that were born from survival. You stop confusing trauma responses with personality flaws. You stop hating yourself for wounds you never chose. And slowly you begin becoming the person you were before fear taught you to hide. That journey is not easy. Some days healing feels like progress. Other days it feels like exhaustion. Some memories return when you thought they were gone forever. Some emotions hit you unexpectedly. But every moment of awareness weakens the control the past once had over you. And maybe that is one of the most important truths in life. The goal is not to erase the past. The goal is to stop living inside it. Because your past may live inside you, but it does not have to imprison you. You are not only the pain you survived, you are also the awareness rising from it. You are the lessons it taught, the wisdom it created, the empathy it built, the resilience it forced into your bones. And one day, after enough honesty, enough reflection, enough healing, you begin noticing something beautiful. The memories are still there, but they no longer control your breathing. The wounds still exist, but they no longer decide your worth. The past still whispers, but your future finally speaks louder.